presentation of Victorian age. I'm going to present about Thomas Hardy, and my name is Drashti Joshi. So let's start. This is my personal information. Content: Thomas Hardy, his life, Hardy's style of writing, famous work, his art of characterization, conclusion. Thomas Hardy, born in 1840 and died in 1928, English novelist and poet. Hardy was a Victorian realist who was influenced Romanticism. He was influenced by Romanticism, and he wrote about problem of Victorian society, particularly, and declining rural life, because we can say that two parts. He was educated at the local school and later in Dorchester, and his where shortly afterwards he begins to study with architecture. And in 1910 he was awarded the Order of Merit. His heart laid buried in his fictional town Wessex, though his ashes have in this sentence. This sentence mentioned in Edward Albert's book, and in this sentence he wants to convey that his heart is buried in his fictional town. It means that his whole life is we can say that his whole life is going to be connected with his fictional town Wessex. We know that his many novels setting is in Wessex, his fictional town. And his ashes is in Westminster Abbey. His life. Thomas Hardy, one of the great Victorian novelists and poet, was born in the village of Upper Beckbourne near Dorchester in Dorset. He was the first child of Thomas and Jemima Hardy. His father was master or mason and a violinist, which means the Hardy family was middle class. His mother came from family long established in Dorset, or we see that his whole in his works also we can see that his works are based on realistic things, and in his works we see the middle class things. Hardy spent his childhood with his parents. Between his parents, Hardy gained all the interest that would later appear in his novels and his own life. His love for architecture and music, his interest in the lifestyle of the country, and his passions for literature, both are equally same. He's also contributed in literature, and also he's interested in architecture and music. Especially, he inherited a love of music from his father, a love of reading from his mother, and strength of personality from both of them. So we here can see that her mother is more educated from her father, and also Hardy especially inherited his love for music from his father, and love for reading from his mother. So in this context, we see that the Hardy wrote many notes to his mother, who raised his son very well. Hardy's style of writing. Thomas Hardy is best known for writing about the blank fate of the working class, list of the wealthy. His non-boss work are the novels, Tales of the Urban and Jude the Obscure. Among the varieties of poetic modernism, Thomas Hardy is distinguished because of his class-inflict spectacles and self-implication tendencies, or we can say that his class-inflicting is very much influenced by Romanticism, and every situation what happened in the Victorian age. Use of color strongly linked to emotion experiments, especially connected with nature landscape. Important role of the language of sense impression in Hardy's novels. We can say we can see that impression of language is very much influenced and very much well used by Hardy in his novels. Famous work of Hardy's. Thomas Hardy has produced many masterpieces. Some of his best poems include Darkling Thrush and The Man He Killed. Besides poetry, he tries his hand on novels. Some of his best novels, included in his novel, he presents the conflict between the new urban and the rural civilization. In many of his novels, he used this technique: new urban versus rural civilization. The Mayor of Casterbridge, Far from Madding Crowds, Taste the Urbervilles, and Jude the Obscure. These are his novels. His art of characterization. Hardy's unique power of characterization has added a great charm to all his novels. He drew his character belongs to the Wessex region. His heroes and heroines are peasants and shepherds, laborers, and singers. He fails in creating aristocratic characters. His characters are emotionally rather than intellectual. Some of them are Tays, Oak, and Bathships. Or also, we include the character of Jude. From Jude the Obscure, we say that his character is very emotional, and that kind of character he characterized in his novels. His art of characterization we can see in all his novels. Hardy's impact on future literature. Thomas Hardy's indifferent style has left deep imprint on international literature. His distinguished writing approach and unique way of expression made him stand out among the best Victorian novelists. His thoughtful idea influenced many great poets and writers, including D.H. Lawrence, John Copper Pose, and Edwin Driffield. His ideas and feelings in his writing that even today's writers try to imitate his unique style, considering him a beacon for writing prose and poetry. So, in this sentence, I think there is a spelling mistake by me. So, uh, forgive me for that. Death. Hardy was also accomplished poet and novelist. He died in 1928. As I mentioned earlier, that his ashes are in Poets' Corner of Westminster Abbey, and his heart is buried in Stainford with his first wife. Conclusion. Thus, Hardy was the prominent Victorian novelist. His philosophy and views about life, love, marriage, destiny, and death are reflected in his works. He was the creator of the philosophical novels. He also gave to the novel a new and impressive architecture patent. We can see all his novels are based on class conflicts or upper class, lower class things, and also marriages, divorces, destiny, death, and love. All his novels has this kind of things. This is my work citation. Thank you so much. If you have any question, then you can ask me. Yes, Gayatri.
Drashti, which aspect of Hardy's novels do you like the most?
In every aspect he is best. We can say that his all kind of aspects writing, like philosophy, psychology, and also class conflict, we can say that he's best in everything. So I like his all kind of aspects. In he included all kind of aspects in his novels, like class conflict or economical things. And also he is very we can say that he is failed in characterize his characters in aristocratic type. He already characterized his character in very lower class or working class people, because we can say that he belongs to a middle class. So he's very good in characterize these things in manner that he characterized his characters in that manner, that middle class and all these things. Yes. Style, he write also blank walls and all these things, but his novels are written in that kind of style that he is very great novelist, we can say that, from Victorian age. In Victorian age there are prose writer, most of the prose writer write about in this manner, that they are very good. And also I mentioned in my slide that critics compare the Thomas Hardy is a Bacon of Victorian age, and we know that Elizabethan age from Bacon belongs, and Bacon was very famous essay writer, and we can say that prose writer. They both are compared from each other, so he's best for his writing novels in that manner. Thank you so much. I hope you are satisfied with my answer. Thank you.